I grew up in the business. You know, my father wrestled. I'm a second generation wrestler, more like a third. I grew up in the locker rooms, you know, in the dressing room, in the ring. Other kids had jungle gyms in their backyard. I had a wrestling ring. You know, so I played, you know, wrestling's been my life, all my life, you know. Being a second generation wrestler is both positive and negative. For me, a lot of doors were open quickly because of the name of my father and my brothers. But at the same time, it was very hard because you had to live up to expectations. When you first start, it's a struggle, you know. It's a big struggle, you know, mentally, and also for a lot of the boys, because you're put in matches that I know I was put in matches in Mexico where I wasn't ready for. You know, I was put in semis and main events real quick. You know, I wasn't ready for that. You know, it helped me in the long run, but I just wasn't ready for that right then and there. So I had to fight my way, literally, in the ring sometimes. You know, because the other wrestlers didn't feel I deserved to be there, and they were right. Well, the belts that have meant the most to me, I guess, were the Cruiserweight title, WCW. The tag team titles with my old partner, Art Barr, God rest his soul, in Mexico. The titles from WWF, which were the European and Intercontinental, both of them. Yeah, they meant a lot to me, you know, because in an organization, they don't just give it to you, you know. There's two reasons why they give you a belt. You know, they let you hold it or let you carry a belt, is better put that way. Number one, because they want to make you, you know, they want to bring your status up. Or number two, because you can carry it and make other people with it. Those are great honors, you know. But I know for me too, you know, I got to remember that with or without a belt, I said I'm going to go produce the best that I can. And a belt doesn't make a wrestler. A wrestler makes the belt. The wrestlers that I love to work with are the ones that bring out the best in me. Chris Benoit, he brings out the best in me, and he's one of the best in the business. Another one that brings out the best in me is Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio Jr., Liger. You know, these are all people that I've been able to have good matches with. El Hijo del Santo in Mexico. You know, just for me, these are wrestlers that have always been, you know, just you have that chemistry with them that you just don't have with you don't have that chemistry with too many people. You can have great matches, but there's only certain people that you can go out there and just have that ultimate match with, you know. Talking about injuries in this business, I mean, you go through injuries all the time. One that stands out in my mind is when I tore my pec wrestling Dean Malenko in a pay-per-view. You know, I went up to the top and I jumped out on him. You know, he tried to duck and shoved me into the railing as I landed, but, you know, he just didn't get out of the way totally, and my arm caught his head here and it just boom, snapped my chest back. And, you know, I just remember that one, you know, because I was out for 4 months with that. In my life, I've experienced addiction. You know, I have the disease of addiction, and I've had problems with drugs and alcohol. And what's important in my life now is God and my recovery. I take it one day at a time, man. And I'm thankful to God that I have a second chance at life, that I have another opportunity to present myself in the ring and to give the best that I can for the fans and for something that I love to do. What I'm doing in life now is keeping it simple. The advice that I would give somebody that wanted to get into the business is basically the advice that I am learning in my life. It's advice that you use in all aspects of life, which is you get out of it what you put into it. Orale, ese. You want to get in the ring with me, Holmes? Ese. What's the matter with you, man? You know, that's pretty brave of you. But hold on, vato loco, because you're in for the ride of your life. The one specific person that has helped me throughout my career has been the one that's helped me throughout my whole life. Right away I think of my father, but he passed away just as I started to wrestle. Everything that he said to me before, I still remember today. You know, he gave me advice that has lasted. You know, I'll always remember my dad for that. But the one that's really supported me and been the one that has carried my dad's advice to me has been my mother. You look at her, she is the mom of 4 wrestlers, okay? The wife of a wrestler, the sister of wrestlers, the grandmother of a wrestler, the aunt of wrestlers. She's been in wrestling all her life. It's surrounded her too. She gives me great advice. Those are the 2 people, you know, my parents. You know, I grew up in the business. They've been in the business and just so supportive all the time. Life on the road for a wrestler, the ribbing, the traveling, the popularity, it's hard. You know, a lot of people see the glitz and glamour on TV of wrestling, and they don't know what goes behind it. They don't know that we go to sleep for 2 hours. You know, you get up, you take off from home in the morning, get a plane, land, go straight to the gym, work out. From there, go grab something to eat while you're in the car sometimes, you know. That's if we have time to eat. Go straight to the building, work that night. Okay, drive to the next town, go to the hotel, get about 2-3 hours of sleep because you got to get up or at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to catch the next plane out. I mean, you know, that's just the travel. Then you got all the ribbing and the politics, you know. I mean, there's a lot of egos that go on behind the scenes. You know, it's just like in any other business. You know, and the popularity, that's rough. You know, at first it's really neat, you know, because you're getting recognized and all that. And then you hate it because you got no privacy. And now I've accepted it. It's part of the package. You know, if anything, I'm grateful to have it now because I guess the day they don't recognize me, it's time to get out of the game. If I were a fan, you know, I would believe one of my most memorable matches in my career would be one with Chris Benoit. It was the semifinals for the J Cup, you know, the junior tour in Japan. And I remember we were on before Liger, and I think it was Samurai in Liger's hometown. And we went out there and we tore the house down. We just tore the house down for 20 minutes. You know, we went on a long time. I think it was 23 minutes. Busted ass. And, you know, very physical. And you know, just that, you know, we had the people on their feet. You know, it was a great experience. What a rush. You know, and then when we came back, you know, everybody was congratulating us, and I feel bad for Liger, but you know, the rest of the matches, you know, just wasn't there, you know. So, you know, it was a good feeling because you went out there and you stole the night, you know, and that doesn't happen. Well, it does to some people, you know, but it doesn't happen a lot, you know. So when you get those nights, it's really a special night. For me, what makes a wrestler a great opponent is, first of all, his attitude, his work ethic. You know, not a lot of wrestlers are blessed with the talent that other wrestlers have. But there's wrestlers out there that have some of the best work ethics, and they're out there busting their ass. And that's what makes a great worker. That's what makes a good wrestler. A lot of people look at the big injuries. Those aren't really the ones that are the problem, because you'll heal up from those. It's the little ones that become the problem, because those become chronic injuries. Those are the ones that keep coming back. Those are the ones that you gotta live with every day and feel that pain every day and that discomfort every now and then, and you keep re-injuring those injuries. You know, those are the ones that are the big ones. The specific ribbing story that comes to mind is the rib that was done on me. You know, they still deny it, but I know it was them. I don't even think Benoit had something to do with it, but still to this day, he doesn't say, you know, he swears he doesn't. So it was a trip to Japan, and well, I don't want to, how do you say, we overindulged ourselves, and I fell asleep on the plane, and the Nasty Boys proceeded to shave my eyebrows and cut my bangs and shave a nice little triangle on my head. And I had to go wrestle in front of 18,000 people like that. Looked like Frankenstein.